4 SUVs prove the RAV4 hype is overblown. Here's why. Picture this. You're at the dealership, ready to buy the RAV4. The salesperson smiles and tells you it's the smart choice. Everybody buys it. You can't go wrong. And for a minute, you're almost convinced. But then you start asking a different question. What's actually going to happen 5 or 6 years from now, when the warranty is gone and the miles are stacking up? Will that badge on the hood still carry the weight it used to? Because here's the honest truth. The RAV4 built its name years ago, and it earned it. But the version sitting on lots today isn't the same vehicle that built that reputation. Toyota has quietly made changes under the hood to hit fuel economy numbers and cut production costs. The result is an SUV that looks familiar on the outside, but rides stiffer, costs more at comparable trims, and comes with a touchscreen that takes real effort to figure out when all you want to do is turn down the heat. And when you're over 60, that stuff matters a lot more than most people admit. Because a car isn't just transportation anymore. It's how you get to the doctor. It's what you load up when you take the grandkids somewhere on a Sunday afternoon. It's the difference between going where you want, when you want, and having to ask somebody else for a ride. Your independence lives in your driveway. So today, I'm showing you 4 SUVs that prove the RAV4 is running on reputation more than reality. Better rides, better safety systems, and more value for the money. If you believe real-world comfort and reliability matter more than a famous badge, hit the like button, because that's exactly what this ranking is about. SUVs that actually make sense long-term. SUV number 4. The 2026 Kia Sportage, the regular gas version. Let me start with the 2 things that put this SUV on the list. What's sitting under the hood, and what Kia is willing to promise you in writing. The RAV4 uses something called a CVT, that stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. In plain English, instead of real gears inside, it uses a steel belt that slides up and down on a set of pulleys. It works fine when everything is new, but every time you push hard to get onto a highway, or pass someone, or climb a long grade, that belt takes a little more wear. And when it finally needs serious work, the bill can run several $1,000s. By then, the warranty is long gone. The Sportage doesn't mess with any of that. Kia put a real 8-speed automatic in here, with solid actual gears that shift cleanly and handle hard use the way a transmission is supposed to. That kind of gearbox has been around for decades. Mechanics everywhere know it, it handles stress better, and it lasts. Then there's the engine. 2.5 liters, no turbo attached. It just breathes normal air, runs at normal temperatures, and skips every headache a turbo adds over time. Simple, proven, the kind of engine that gets up on a cold morning and doesn't ask for much in return. Now here's the piece nobody else in this class can match. Kia backs the Sportage with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. The RAV4 gives you 5 years. Kia doubles it, and then some. If anything goes wrong with that engine or that transmission in the first decade, Kia covers it. For anyone on a fixed income, that kind of protection isn't just a warranty. It's peace of mind you can actually bank on. On safety, the 2026 Sportage earned an IIHS top safety pick. Forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise control all come standard. Every trim, every model. You don't have to buy up to get the protection you need. The cabin is roomy and practical, wide enough for a grandkid or 2 in the back, comfortable enough for a longer drive without feeling it the next day. Everything is laid out sensibly. Nothing asks you to dig through menus just to change the temperature. Starts around $28,790. That's one of the lowest entry prices in this entire class. For a vehicle with no CVT, no turbo, a 10-year warranty, and a full suite of safety features baked right in. SUV number 3. The 2026 Mazda CX-5. This one surprises people. It doesn't have the name recognition of the RAV4, but the moment you get behind the wheel, you stop wondering why it belongs on this list. Start with the ride. Mazda did something most companies in this price range just don't bother doing. They actually tuned the suspension to absorb the road. Potholes, speed bumps, those rough, cracked sections of highway that seem to multiply every winter. Instead of a sharp jolt that shoots right up your spine, the CX-5 softens it out. After an hour of driving, you don't feel like you went a few rounds with something. And if you've got a stiff back or a hip that gives you trouble, that difference isn't a small thing. Then close the door and notice what happens. It goes quiet. Road noise fades out. Wind noise drops away. That low, steady hum that wears you down on a longer trip, the CX-5 dials it way down. For anyone who wears hearing aids or just wants to talk to the person next to them without raising their voice, that quiet cabin is worth a lot more than it sounds. Here's a feature most dealerships won't even think to mention. The CX-5 offers a head-up display. Your speed shows up right on the windshield, sitting in your normal line of sight. You never have to drop your eyes to the instrument cluster and then find the road again. That refocus takes longer than it used to, and every driver over 60 knows exactly what I'm talking about. Eyes stay up, eyes stay on what matters. The controls are honest, real dials, real buttons. Not a flat pane of glass that makes you tap and guess. And all-wheel drive comes standard across the lineup, not as a pricey option, just standard. So when the roads are wet or there's a little frost on a cold morning, the CX-5 is already gripping before you even think about it. Starts around $31,500. For that money, you're getting a near-luxury feel and a ride that'll make you wonder why you paid more for cars in the past. SUV number 2. The 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid. This one earns its spot for one very specific reason, and it starts with the way the regular RAV4 moves. The standard RAV4 uses a CVT, a continuously variable transmission. No real gears inside, just a steel belt riding up and down on a set of pulleys. It's fine when everything is new, but every time you push hard to merge, pass on the highway, or climb a grade, that belt takes a little more wear. Over years and miles it adds up, and when a CVT finally needs serious work, you're looking at a bill that doesn't come cheap. The CR-V Hybrid sidesteps all of that. The electric motors carry so much of the load that the drivetrain just doesn't strain the way a regular gas transmission does. You press the pedal, and the power flows in smooth and clean. No rubbery feeling underfoot, no hesitation, just quiet, easy acceleration. The kind that doesn't make you tense up. The fuel economy backs it up, over 40 miles to the gallon around town. For someone making regular trips to appointments, running grandkids around to their activities, or just handling the daily routine, that's real money back in your pocket month after month. The cabin is genuinely roomy. Room for a friend, your dog, a couple of grandkids, nobody feels squeezed. Honda sensing comes standard on every trim: forward collision warning, automatic braking, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise. It runs quietly in the background and never asks you to learn a new system. Physical volume knob, physical climate controls, a touchscreen that responds the first time you tap it. Getting in and out feels natural. Wide doors, the right seat height, nothing that fights you. 5-star overall safety rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. That number means something when you're choosing the vehicle that carries the people you love most. Starts around $34,600. A reasonable price for what it quietly delivers every single day. SUV number 1. The 2026 Subaru Forester all-wheel drive. Here it is. And I want you to really sit with this one because this is the pick I would tell a close friend to go look at before they signed anything. The very first thing you notice when you climb into a Forester is how much you can see. The windows are tall. The roof pillars are slim. You can see the front corners of the hood. You can see clearly to both sides without twisting all the way around. When you're pulling into a spot, backing out of a tight space, or watching for a gap in traffic, the Forester doesn't fight you. For anyone who's noticed that parking and reversing have gotten a little more work than they used to be, that visibility makes the whole experience easier. Getting in and out is exactly how it should be. The door swings open wide. The seat sits right where you want it. Not a climb up, not a bend all the way down. You step in. You sit. You stand. You step out. If your knees have been giving you trouble, or you've had any hip work, or your back just reminds you it's there some mornings, the Forester takes that friction out of the equation. Now here's what separates this vehicle from almost everything else at the price. Subaru's EyeSight system. And it comes standard on every single trim, not on the top package, not as a costly add-on. Every Forester, every level. EyeSight uses 2 small cameras mounted at the top of the windshield and watches the road continuously. It tracks the vehicle ahead of you. It watches for pedestrians. If something moves into your path and you're half a second behind, EyeSight hits the brakes. That reaction time gap is real after 60, and this system covers it without making you feel like anything is wrong with you. Since 2007, the Forester has earned a top safety pick from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety every single year, not most years, every year. That's not marketing. That's nearly 2 decades of independent verification. All-wheel drive is standard. Every trim, every model. So whether it's a wet road, a frosty morning, or a stretch that hasn't dried out yet, the Forester is already working with you before you finish the thought. Price starts at $29,995, less than a base RAV4. For more safety, better visibility, and a design built around real drivers living real lives. That's why it's number one. So there are my four. The Kia Sportage for the driver who wants a tough, no-nonsense SUV with a 10-year warranty backing every mile. The Mazda CX-5 for the driver who wants a smooth, quiet ride and a near-luxury feel without the luxury price. The Honda CR-V Hybrid for the driver who wants honest, effortless power and real fuel savings that add up over time. And the Subaru Forester for the driver who wants the best visibility, the easiest entry and exit, and the most complete safety package in the class for less than a RAV4. Before you walk into any dealership, do one thing first. Sit in the seat. Get in and out a couple of times. Reach for the controls without looking down. Ask the salesperson what safety systems come standard. Now you'll know exactly what to listen for. Drop a comment and tell me which of these four feels right for you, or share what you're driving now and how it's holding up. Your experience might be the thing that helps somebody else watching make the right call. And if this helped you see past the noise, please subscribe. Every week there's honest, straight-talk advice just like this. No hype, no sponsored opinions. Just real information for people who want to stay safe, stay comfortable, and stay in control of where they go and when they go there. Hit that like button on the way out. Take care of yourself and drive safe out there.